Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. I'm with Oculus Rift Reviews. Today we're going to review and play Puppy Chef Academy, a game on the Steam store by CTN Design, released September 7th, 2018. I originally reviewed this game when it was a paid game, but this game has gone free to play. The developer made the announcement on April 23rd. It went free to play on April 26th, and I'm just finding out about it right now. So I recommended this game when it was a paid game. I thought it was good for what it was. It was I would call it a kid-focused cooking mini game with lots of text dialogue that's pretty funny or pretty humorous, especially for the intended audience, which would be a kid, I would imagine. It's not a perfect game. I really think this game suffered from not being voiced. I think if this game had voice actors, it would have sold a lot better. Because, I'm not sure of too many kids who actually want to scroll through all these texts or click through all these text bubbles and just read. Now, I don't mind doing that at all. But I just think it would have made the whole experience a lot better if it had been voice acted. Especially with these quirky characters. You have Oatly, you have Georgia, and you have this character, Guts. Sorry, there she is. And Guts is quite the character. She's actually my favorite character just because she's so strict, but she's a little fast and loose with her own. Like she has like this very idealized work ethic, which she actually doesn't always follow through on. And so she, by the rules, but herself, she kind of bends the rules for herself. And then you have Oatly, who's just happy-go-lucky, and Georgia's just kind of like the authoritarian figure. She's kind of like a likable grandma as well. So I like the characters. I think their banter back and forth is pretty funny, especially for again, this is, I imagine, for parents playing along with their kids. So given that, I think it's good for what it is. I found it funny. And so you're not just cooking. You might think this is a cooking minigame, but it's more like a VM, more like a virtual novel where you do some cooking. And you might learn some of the recipes, but you're not really cooking. The cooking physics is just not there. And I don't think it's meant to be. I think this is meant to be accessible for kids. So for a young kid playing, I think this is simple enough that they can follow along and do the instructions. And it's something that's easy for them. So in that sense, it is great. But if you're an adult and you're thinking, okay, this is a cooking game for VR, there's others of this type, this would be among the easiest. And so there's not much challenge here, and really the enjoyment is not from actually executing the physical acts. Usually it wants you to mix items or chop items, or put a pan in the range on the stove there and heat it up, or put it on top and fry, put the frying pan in and fry it up and heat it up. So the physical interactions themselves are super simple. As you can see, it says, pour all these items together, and there's not really like a quantity that you're looking for. You just basically pour it all in. It doesn't matter. And once you pour all of them in, it automatically just goes to the next task. So the instructions are very simple. They're very hard not to do them correctly. I've never had an issue as far as being stuck. Of course, I've never really tried to do something very wrong to see what happens either. But definitely the biggest draw for me, my biggest enjoyment, is just reading their banter back and forth, reading the dialogues, and at the same time, you're actually learning about these recipes. Obviously, you won't know how to cook them in real life because it never gives you quantities. It never says like do half a spoon of this, or 2 tablespoons of that, or cook for 30 minutes, or nothing like that. It's just put all these items together, chop them up, put it in the oven, put it in the stove, and just set it and forget it. So it's never a time deal or something where you have to concentrate on that. You can't burn the food. It's just automatic. When it's done, it automatically does it for you. You don't need to worry about it. So in that sense, this is like the most relaxing cooking game, and it's really more focused on the VN, the virtual novel aspect of this Puppy Chef Academy, and I actually liked it. I like Oatly, I like Guts. We don't really find out too much about Georgia, but definitely the banter between Oatly and Guts is usually pretty funny, and it's pretty appropriate for the intended audience. Now that it's free to play, I would put it on my top 100 list of best free games on Steam, and in fact, it would probably be in my top 25. Because I thought it was that good. When it was a paid game, it's something that I recommended. I gave it a 7 out of 10 as a paid game, and now as a free game, I would rate it even higher. I think I give it an 8. But at the same time, keep in mind, it's not going for realistic cooking. So there's other cooking VR games that are going for more realism, more of a simulation, where timing matters. You can't in other games that I played of this type, usually the physical interactions are better, they're more crisp, and you can actually burn food, so you got to be careful with that. And a lot of it's time, so you got to put the right ingredients in the right place and make sure it doesn't burn, and got to do it really quick because another order is coming right off. This is not that. This is just basically you're following a recipe, at the same time you're listening in on this conversation between usually Oatly and the other person. I keep forgetting her name. Guts. Sorry. Guts is such a weird game. And yeah, it's fun. I enjoyed this experience. I do recommend it. There's 12 different recipes. This is the recipe for bulgogi, which is Korean beef, and I had never tried bulgogi, but after doing this recipe cooking, I definitely want to try it out. It sounds really delicious, and I never knew what kimchi was, and now I'm like, fermented cabbage. That actually might be good with some rice and some bulgogi. I definitely would like to try the way they set out this recipe. There's other recipes as well. There's 12 different ones. I haven't unlocked all of them. Each recipe takes different amount of times. This one took 20 minutes. I cut down on some of it, or at least it's estimated to be 20 minutes. I think it actually took me about 16 minutes, so I think I did it 4 minutes faster than what was approximated. But definitely the recipes do vary. There's ones that are shorter than this. I believe there's one that's longer. But the whole story is enjoyable from start to finish. I've been enjoying how this story is going along and finding out about this Puppy Chef Academy. So I do recommend this game. I'm going to put a link on my video where you can download this game for free. This is a game by CTN Design. It's for the HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and Windows Mixed Reality. It's sad when I see a developer make their game free to play, because I know the reason for that is because it didn't sell well. So I kind of wish this developer had better luck and had been able to keep working on it and polish it up, but obviously it didn't sell well enough, so they decided to just make it free to play, which I highly recommend everyone watching my channel to download this game. If you like it, don't forget to put a positive review up on Steam, just because at this point there's only 6 user reviews for this, and so this game definitely needs a lot of love. It's got 5 positive reviews and 1 negative review at this moment, so I'd like to see more positive reviews just to show this developer some love for making this game free to play. Most developers just abandon their games and they just leave it at the paid status, and they never update it or anything. Well, if you can't afford to update the game, at least make it free to play. And not only that, he says if you have purchased the game within the past 2 weeks, please make use of Steam's refund system. So if you bought this game recently, definitely get the refund. It's probably too late now because that was back on April 26th. So. But yeah, this game just didn't make enough money, and so this developer decided to make it free. He's going through some changes in his life. You can read about it on his post on the Steam store. On the updates, you can see the reasons he gives for making it free to play. So, it's sad when that happens, but, at least now more people get to try this game and enjoy it, and I'm all for that. Like I said, I'm sad when developers make their games free to play that were paid, because it means it failed. But on the other hand, I'm happy because it means that us Steam VR users get another free game. And we all know that VR is a very tough market and that there's going to be a lot of failures. But I hope that you all realize that this does happen a lot more than what you think, as far as developers not making enough money from not enough sales. So it's very important, if you're a VR believer, if you love VR, gotta support developers, gotta buy games, do your part in supporting good devs that make good games. And this is a good game. I know it's not the best game, so I'm not saying it's the most polished game. This game could have used a lot of polish. Like I mentioned, the voice acting should have been there. Some of the cooking mechanisms, the use of motion controls could have been done better. Because a lot of this is, just very basic interactions with your motion controllers. But there was a lot of time and effort put into this, and you can tell by the stories in each of these 12 recipes, and they're very well written, and I think they just hit the perfect spot for a parent wanting to play a game with their kid. I think this is a perfect game for that. So definitely, if you're a parent and you have VR and you have a kid who wants to play VR, this would be the perfect game to play with them. And you could read the text bubbles to them if they're really small. If they get bored from reading them or have trouble reading it, I think that'd be great. That'd be awesome. And the interactions are easy enough for even a kid to do, so that won't be any problem at all. I would recommend a room scale setup, just because you do have to reach for some items. I'm not sure if pure standing room if you can do everything this game requires. So I do recommend a room scale setup, but you don't need a big space, just enough to be able to reach. Basically, as long as you have a really good standing room that you can reach from one side to the other side, you should be fine with this, just as long as you can reach all around you. I think you'll be okay as far as completing the recipes. I'm Fast Lawyer. Again, please support this developer. At least give, if you liked it, at least give a positive review. At least take that step. And don't forget, if you want to support VR, to support developers by buying games. I'm Fast Lawyer. I'm with Oculus Rift Reviews. Thank you for watching my review and gameplay for Puppy Chef Academy. This is the bulgogi kimchi rice recipe. It sounds very good. I want to try it. If anybody out there knows a good place to get this, or can make it on their own, or has a relative, let me know. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.